Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever rookie sensation, has been making serious noise in the WNBA this season. How come somebody even dared to trash talk her on live television? Well, Angel Reese, her NCAA rival, decided she would be the one to challenge Clark's dominance back in the day. When Reese faced Clark in the NCAA final, she famously hit her with the "You can't see me" sign, a bold move that broadcasted her declaration of superiority for all to witness. I mean, what? Then she pointed at her finger, implying she considered herself a champ. And Caitlin Clark? She simply took it in stride. Always known for her composure and resilience on court, she didn't let this jab unsettle her. Instead, she let her gameplay do the talking. In this video, let's dive into the story behind the contentious relationship between these two incredible athletes. Let's explore the fiery on-court exchanges, the mind games, and the display of unmatched competitive spirit. Make sure to watch till the end to uncover how Reese's trash talk backfired and ultimately cemented Caitlin Clark's legacy as a composed and unstoppable force on the court. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you think this level of trash talk really deserves. Now, without further ado, let's get it. The infamous "You can't see me" incident began when Reese, with a seeming air of superiority, threw the trash talk gesture towards Caitlin on national television. She also pointed to her ring finger, indicating her self-declared championship status. How bold that move was, huh? Unfazed, Clark did not let this get to her. Remaining calm and composed under pressure was one of her renowned traits after all. She simply chose to communicate her response through her performance. Yes, Angel Reese and her LSU Tigers were able to get past Caitlin Clark's Iowa in the 2023 NCAA National Championship game. But you better believe Clark came back. The very next year, in their 2024 Elite Eight rematch, Clark dominated the court, finishing the game with 41 points and leading Iowa past Reese's LSU Tigers to the Final Four, and eventually to Iowa's second consecutive title game. That Iowa vs. LSU rematch was the most iconic NCAA game in history. After the legendary Magic Johnson vs. Larry Bird showdown, when Michigan State defeated Indiana State, the Iowa vs. LSU Elite Eight matchup was also more watched than the 2023 NBA Finals. Imagine that. And Clark, knowing the importance of the rematch, didn't disappoint. Her stunning performances on the court made it clear that she wasn't about to let some trash talk get to her head. She calmly but decisively proved Reese wrong, showing her and the entire world exactly who was the true champ. Her exceptional scoring spree served as a soothing balm to the stinging mockery Reese had presented the year prior. Clark's stellar performance was a loud retort to Reese's audacious antics. Man, it was a potent reminder that champions don't crown themselves. It's their exceptional talents and relentless dedication that bestows them with the title. Clark's remarkable comeback only amplified her standing in the competition, leaving Reese to swallow her words and her pride in sheer regret. Her trash-talking had not only backfired, but ended up fueling and invigorating Clark's already dauntless spirit. Caitlin's response to that disrespectful trash talk was a masterclass on how to silence critics with action, not words. But guess what? She wasn't done. Caitlin Clark selected number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever, just WNBA draft Bayou. Barbie Angel Reese selected number 7 overall by the Chicago Sky, the WNBA draft. With both Clark and Reese now in the WNBA, their rivalry has found a new arena. Both athletes have continued to impress, each making their mark in the professional league. Reese's bravado may still surface from time to time, yet Clark remains unfazed. Do you think she remembers that infamous NCAA "You can't see me" sign? You bet. Because every time Caitlin gets a chance to play against Reese in the WNBA, she uses it as fuel to outperform, outshine, and prove her utter dominance over Reese. In every Indiana Fever vs. Chicago Sky matchup this season, Clark has risen to the occasion, showcasing incredible performances. Peep this game in June. It was the first time these rivals faced off in the W since their NCAA days. The Fever came in 2-8 in the season, and they needed a win desperately. That's when Clark stepped up big time. As a rookie, she played 37 minutes, scoring 11 points, grabbing 8 boards, and dropping 6 dimes, providing a monumental performance that propelled Fever to a much-needed victory. Angel Reese scored just 8 points and had just 1 assist. Yes, she pulled down a team-high 13 rebounds, but that wasn't enough to outshine Clark's commanding performance on the court. Caitlin's answer to Reese's trash talk was not just words, but action. Once again. By this time, Angel was pro. Angel was probably like, "What have I stirred up?" But yo, Clark didn't stop there. In every successive game against the Chicago Sky, she exhibited superiority on the court. She used Reese's audacious trash talk as a driving force to always outperform. In their next matchup, Clark dropped 23, 9 and 8 to lead the Fever to the 91-83 victory against the Sky. It was a competitive, thrilling contest, but Clark's exceptional skills shone through and propelled the Fever to win. The ridicule that Reese had begun on the NCAA court ended with Clark shutting her down on the WNBA court. Yet again. In their next matchup, Clark outdid herself and posted a double-double, 17 points and 13 assists. Incredible, isn't it? She also grabbed 6 rebounds for good measure. The Sky were able to pull that one off as they won the game by just 1 point. But Clark made sure to make Reese eat her words with another show-stopping display. When it comes to shutting down critics, Caitlin Clark is undoubtedly a class act. Some may argue that it's the trash talk propelling her. Others believe it's her remarkable talent. Whatever the reason, Clark's continued dominance over Reese is a clear message that skill is more effective than trash talk. In each encounter, she establishes herself as the stronger player, powerfully quieting Reese's attempts to destabilize her with words, or with that type of iconic yet audacious ring finger gesture. In the recent WNBA All-Star Game, Clark and Reese were named to the same roster for the first time. Even though they were on the same team, Clark didn't let that impede her competitive spirit. She put up 10 assists, one of the things she does best as a point guard. Meanwhile, Reese had 0 dimes. I'm telling y'all, Reese never stood a chance, even in a game supposedly void of rivalry. In the current Rookie of the Year race, both Clark and Reese are contenders, but it is Clark who continues to lead with 17.1 points per game, while Reese lags behind with 13.5. Clark also has a sizable lead in assists, with 8.2 dimes against Reese's 1.8. The numbers don't lie, right? And they lay out proof of a clear leader. So it's crystal clear that Clark's performance isn't just a flash in the pan. It reaffirms her as a consistent power player. Reese might bank on archive footage from the college days, but the present tells a different story. Whether it's their individual face-offs or their overall journey in the rookie season, Clark overshadowed Reese comprehensively. Girl, you think you can disrespect me on live TV and get away with it? Think again. That's the unspoken message that Caitlin Clark keeps delivering. Clark's Indiana Fever and Reese's Chicago Sky are expected to continue their on-court rivalry. Another meeting coming right up this season is sure to set the stage for another fiercer, even more heated clash. But regardless of the outcome, it is already established that Angel Reese's boasts and brash predictions have consistently fallen short in the face of Caitlin Clark's impressive displays. Would you agree that Caitlin Clark has managed to trounce Angel Reese at every step of their professional journey to date? Would you agree that Angel's trash talk has backfired in a major way? I mean, it looks like it's safe to say that Clark's actions have spoken louder than any words. Think about it. Whatever Clark has accomplished so far, and the way she has outshined Reese time and time again, shows a dedication and perseverance that is truly commendable. She hasn't just stood her ground. She has soared higher, setting benchmarks in the WNBA while shattering Reese's taunts with her game stats. On a bigger scale, Clark's drive and focus serve as an inspiration to all aspiring athletes, aiming to rise above petty rivalries, taunts, and distractions. And this rivalry has actually elevated women's basketball to a new height of popularity. It grew the game to extent, attracting audiences and amping up intrigue. The WNBA has greatly benefited from the heightened viewer interest sparked by the Clark-Reese rivalry. And on a personal scale, this rivalry has ultimately pushed both players to continuously better their game. And for Angel Reese, it has been an unmistakable lesson on humility and the power of fearless competition. Bet she'll think twice before putting her hand in front of her face like that again. That's it for today, folks. Stay tuned for more basketball drama and pop in the comments to share your thoughts about this intense rivalry. Make sure to like and subscribe. And see you next time for another deep dive.